This video contains spoilers for MIO, Memories in Orbit. MIO is a game that takes place on a spaceship, referred to as the Vessel. The spaceship's goal is finding a new planet for the human travelers to live on, aka the Promised Land. This spaceship has been in space for 28 human generations, plus 299 years later, roughly 1000 years overall. Some of the human travelers on the spaceship went through a process of embedding, losing their mortal being and becoming an AI caretaker of the ship, also known as the Voices or the Pearls. They are the blood, the breath, the hand, the spine, the eye, and the heart. At some point in time, one of the embedding processes failed, killing Lura, one of the travelers that was supposed to replace the previous spine. After that event, the human travelers refused to continue embedding and started giving up on their dream of finding a new planet. The pearls didn't have new replacements and slowly started degenerating, becoming weak, dormant, or deranged. After some time, Asma the Eye, the pearl responsible for searching for a hospitable planet, finds an actual planet that can be a potential promised land. Noden the Spine, the one responsible for connecting all units through the network, realizes that the machines and the spaceship itself will die upon landing on this new planet, and decides to prevent it. Noden, using malware, sends units to destroy the coordinates of the planet at all cost. Amber, one of the last living travelers, gets to the coordinates in the observatory first, downloads them, and deletes them from the observatory. Going together with MIO, the keeper of the eye, Amber asks permission to enter the library and the precious samples room, a place where samples from Earth are held, meant to be used for terraforming the new planet. Amitis, the breath, accepts the request. Noden the Spine sends units to stop Amber, but fails, and the access to the library from the observatory caves in. Rushing to the library, Amber loses one of her shoes on the way. The travelers try to protect the library and die in the fight, but the library and the precious samples survive, and Amber goes into the precious samples room with the coordinates. During this fight, the container of gloom water gets hit and starts leaking. Gloom water, being a catalyst meant to speed up terraforming of the new planet, now spills and floods the spaceship, causing the vegetation in Haven to overgrow. Ati, the keeper of Clea the Heart, kills Noden the Spine and absorbs their voice. The network goes down and machines become disconnected. Liho, the blood, goes into despair and slowly stops providing the heating required for the main city, Metropolis. Amitis, the breath that supplied oxygen for the living beings on the spaceship, becomes indifferent and goes dormant. Asma, the Eye, being old and seeing the slow decline of the vessel, calls MIO and asks her to save the heart. Asma gives MIO her essence, her voice, and dies.
Go, my dear. Save the heart.
Later, Liho the Blood sends Tomo, keeper of the blood, to find out why more and more units are failing. Tomo's friend, Semsk, wakes MIO up, asking her to help him find Tomo following her letters. While MIO is waking up, and later gets new upgrades, she receives messages from Amber, who is still alive. MIO gets hit by a tremor. These tremors hit all of the units on the ship, a side effect of the slowly dying heart of the vessel, Clea. MIO's journey begins with two intertwined goals. One, learning why machines are decaying with Tomo and Semsk, and two, saving the heart of the vessel by bringing her the voices of the other pearls. With the help of She, Keeper of the Spine, MIO absorbs the voices of the breath, the blood, and the hand.
I shouldn't be afraid to die.
MIO already holds the voice of the eye and needs the last voice, the spine, to save the heart. But Ati, the keeper of the heart that holds that voice, does not want to prolong the journey of the vessel without reaching the promised land. MIO and Ati fight, and after MIO defeats Ati, she brings the voices to the heart. Clea absorbs the voices from MIO, and in this ending of the game, MIO dies, but the ship lives on, thus completing the request of Asma and the will of She.
You went far and beyond your initial functions. Your memories show how difficult it was, and how brave you were.
But the story is not over. MIO finds a way to enter the Crucible, where pearls are made. She finally meets Tomo, Keeper of the Blood, and Semsk there. MIO helps Tomo get reports from the Crucible production process, but the reports appear to be fine. Semsk and Tomo realize that the Crucible itself has a pearl and is slowly decaying and dying, and that is the main reason for the decay of the machines, especially the newer ones. Semsk shuts down the Crucible and gives MIO her final ability upgrade, the Flowing Steps, that allow her to stride on liquid. MIO also enters the pit, where all dysfunctional pearls are dumped. She finds a fragment of an older spine incumbent, Aelin. MIO uses her new Flowing Steps ability to reach the library above the canopy. MIO finally reaches the precious samples room, where Ember is. When she tries to access the room, She, the Keeper of the Spine, appears. She hoped MIO will never find this place, and tries to stop MIO from saving Ember and the coordinates of the Promised Land. MIO defeats She and enters the precious samples room. Another tremor hits MIO before she saves Ember and finally gives in. Ati brings MIO to Clea the Heart, together with the voices and coordinates of the Promised Land. The Heart absorbs both Ati and MIO. On the new planet, a human finds the remains of the ship, the Eye, MIO, and Ati.